For the next 100 days, I'm going to be simulating a dinosaur thriving ecosystem. We've got rocky mountains, huge lakes, desolate deserts, and rocky plains. To start off, we're going to be releasing 2 apatosauruses into the ecosystem. Now, these 2 seem to be a bit lonely, so let's give them some friends. I just released a herd of stegosauruses. These guys are strong fighters and can hold their own against big carnivores. Finally, I'm going to be releasing a pack of carnotauruses to simulate the food chain. As the dinosaurs settled in, a fight has just begun between 2 stegosauruses for territory. This one has won the fight and the other one backed off, leaving him to have his territory. And with that, day 1 came to a close. On the morning of day 2, I released a pack of velociraptors. Immediately, the raptors tried to hunt down the stegosaurus, but he fought back, shaking off the raptors and killing them. However, the carnivores did score a victory. This carnotaurus had just killed this apatosaurus. With that, I watched the sun slowly rise on the morning of day 3. Today was the day to release an apex predator, the biggest theropod to ever live, the Spinosaurus. Immediately after its release, it hunted down a stegosaurus, circling it before pouncing. This was the first of its many victims. Meanwhile, deep underwater, I released an apex predator, the megalodon. And a force to rival it, the mosasaurus. On the night of day 7, to mark a week in this ecosystem, I released the Indoraptor, a genetically modified dinosaur for military purposes. However, I do not know how this artificial beast would fare in a natural ecosystem. Immediately after its release, it hunted down a stegosaurus. Its buff was that it was able to see in the dark, unlike this stegosaurus here. It circled it, ready to pounce. But the stegosaurus warded it off. Its strong tail hurt the Indoraptor. It tried to pounce again, getting a hit on the stegosaurus. It was even turf. It tried to get a hit on the stegosaurus, but it was knocked off. The Indoraptor was hurt. Very hurt. It got another hit on the stegosaurus. It was injured. It ran off. On the morning of day 10, another victim had fallen to the Spinosaurus. He was savouring the taste of the stegosaurus, dominating the ecosystem. It was time we released something to rival him. This is the Indominus Rex, a huge dinosaur, arguably better than the T-Rex. I released it on the morning of day 15 to hopefully give the Spinosaurus some competition. And along with it, its weaker counterpart, the dinosaur that dominated the late Cretaceous, a huge theropod, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So, as soon as these 2 titans came across each other, I knew it would be trouble. They circled each other, but the Indominus Rex backed off. In the lagoon, the animals were getting hungry, so I released common prey, the Plesiosaurus, a pack of them. And I couldn't forget some common hunters, the Suchomimuses. Unfortunately, after many victories, the Indominus Rex took on a fight he couldn't win, killed by a Stegosaurus. T-Rex luckily still remained, but it developed a tooth fracture. As prey was running scarce and most of the stegosauruses had been wiped out, I released 6 ankylosauruses into the ecosystem. On the final day, only the Spinosaurus and an Indominus Rex that I had released previously after the other one died remained. Bob and Henry. They circled each other. Food was scarce. They were starving. They were hurt. They rushed at each other. A perfect even match between nature and hybrid forms. They jumped at each other. They pounced. Both were on low health. Both were injured. Find out what happens next time in part 2 of the ecosystem.